back in 1971 on the Illinois State University campus. There was a need for a drug hotline. It was a time where people were experimenting with a lot of things and bad trips and things to that nature, and so they started it on the ISU campus. But it quickly kind of evolved into a community organization, and 2-3 years down the road it was doing crisis response and also providing information referral.
Wow, okay. Can you tell us what PATH does today? How has it changed or evolved?
PATH has seen incredible growth over the last more than 20 years that I've been here. And our main operation is the crisis line. It's that 24/7 response to crisis and requests for information and referral. We have 2 other divisions as well that have evolved. We do homeless services for McLean County, and we have a senior services division where we're providing a number of different services to seniors. I think that PATH evolved in the best possible way in that we changed in response to community need. That we were able, as a small nonprofit that is not linked into state guidelines or federal guidelines that hamper us in terms of making decisions. Some of the projects over the years that we've dived into, and I'll tell you my first one in my first year here at PATH, we had a really great bumper crop in the gardens. It was tremendous weather. Everybody had all these fruits and vegetables they were giving away to everybody. And I said, gee, here's an idea. Why don't we collect the food and then take a pickup truck and deliver it to subsidized housing areas, let people come and fill their bags with it. And that was my very first thing that was totally not a part of PATH, but it worked wonderfully, and it was a great way to get to our senior population and letting them know that PATH had programs to serve them.
My name is Alex Cardona. I am the chair for Hispanic Families Work Group. The Hispanic Families Work Group is an organization made up of 50 to 60 different organizations or social service organizations or businesses and churches, the education field that come together to really look at issues in the Hispanic community and then go to tackle them.
I think that the first project we did with Wesleyan was just outstanding. We operate, or we are general manager of the Central Illinois Continuum of Care. This is a HUD organized way of dealing with homelessness, you know, measuring results and getting money based on those results. When we started with Illinois Wesleyan, one of the things that we were asked to do was to develop a 10-year plan to end homelessness. Now, a lot of people will smile at the end of that sentence because it certainly is a huge, daunting task, and no one would really expect to see it gone in 10 years, but the government set the benchmark, and then we were expected to respond to that. We had several wonderful interns, some who worked with us the first semester. We had one who worked both semesters and then came back the following fall and did more work for us. One of the things I really appreciated is that these interns came with a different mindset about what they wanted to get out of the experience. And I think that Wesleyan staff, you guys had developed something that was a total different way of looking at things and really investing more responsibility in those interns and knowing that you were selecting people into this group and you had a lot of really bright young minds and they were able to do things that we wouldn't ordinarily have gotten done. I mean, we had the research end of it as we took a look at plans all across the country in order to formulate our own, and all the way through to the end where we had the end product, and then Anne went ahead and put it in a marvelous format that was so readable, looked so professional, something we were proud to hand out to community leaders, to funders. It was just a dynamite first project. Kyle did his internship in the summer of 2007, and Kyle I brought in on our 211 program. 211 is a nationally set aside number for people to be able to reach information referral in their local area. 211 answers that question of where do I turn, and it now covers 76% of the country. And Illinois is just about to begin. Some of Kyle's work from last summer helped us enormously when we went for the request for proposal from the state for the pilot projects. But Kyle was helpful in many different ways in terms of putting together information in new ways. We utilized his skills at the state conference for the Alliance of Information and Referral Systems, where he did a great presentation on explaining the intricacies of 211 to people who had really very little knowledge.
The first project we had with Patrick Berry really laid the foundation of what we could do in the community for the Hispanic community, but specifically looking at who are our stakeholders in the community, who are the members of the Hispanic Families Work Group that we could utilize in reaching out to the Hispanic community and working together. The other piece of it was that was the first test of saying, could an undergrad student really give us solid information if we're not, one, paying them, and two, if they have not finished their degree yet. The second part of that Aaron Cox came in during the summer and worked on was utilizing the information that Patrick took and gathered, and then leveraging it to the next step and taking it back to the non-for-profits and stating, well, as you've looked at your non-for-profit and what you do as an organization alone, how do you work with other non-for-profits? Michael's work not only pulls together who we are as a membership organization, as designing a website, but it also is going to be our avenue, our communication avenue, or communication method of getting information out to the public and getting information about this Hispanic community study out there. Not only will we do a publication, but we will have a resource and a website that can be put out there. And for a non-for-profit that doesn't have a building, a non-for-profit that doesn't have that bricks and mortar where someone can call at any time and we would have a secretary there, it's nice to have a 24-hour website where someone can feel like they have a direct link to our organization. And eventually, when the community study is completed, they have a direct link to our deliverable.
The other thing is that we really believe in giving the interns some practical vision of what life is like. So they work down at the Compassion Center, a day center for the homeless, to allow them to see up close some of the results of what we do in the office that makes those things possible. So I think that we give them another viewpoint, and I think that the other thing we give them is that they see a team that's really dedicated, that there are people who passionately believe in their mission, and what a great thing to be able to pass on.
The best thing the thing that has really given me joy out of this is when I asked Michael how he felt about the website, because he had never created anything like this. And it really set the bar pretty high for him to work on something by himself. Because we really did not have any expertise in regards to website development. Is this something that really interests me? And I think he answered a lot of those questions for himself. Is this something I could do for the rest of my life? Is this something that I feel is important? And also to say, wherever he lands after he graduates, looking at, is this something that I could do for other non-for-profits? The other great thing about the Action Research Seminar students is that they taught us a lot about doing small focus groups and how hard it would be to make inroads into the Hispanic community. So really, when I look at what we did with Patrick, with Aaron, and Action Research Seminar with Christy, was we built off each intern. So each intern's work laid another foundation or another layer